That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, that don't sound right, send us a comment. You're one of us.
Of Cecil.
Yeah.
I mean, that is impressive.
See, all this stuff you didn't know.
Wow. We might have to have another episode about French horn pine.
About French horn and double horn.
Welcome back to another episode of That Don't Sound Right, a podcast about talking. We're your co-hosts. I'm Peter Billman.
I'm Cecil Davis.
And we're just trying to have a conversation here without using Google or fact-checking online. Those things always seem to kill the conversation, don't they?
They do. We don't do that here.
We try not to. And we try not to say, I don't know.
Right.
Even though we won't. But we appreciate for those who get what we're doing.
Yeah.
And tonight, we're talking about show choirs.
Yeah, so, show choirs in the last 15 years have been popular because of things that have been on TV. The show Glee was on TV, and there's been other movies, High School Musical.
So I always get show choirs mixed up with a cappella groups.
Yeah. So
how are they different?
Show choir is, that's a good question that you said. So show choir for us, we would do contemporary music, usually singing and some kind of dance number associated
so
with it.
So there's some choreography.
So there's choreography.
Say that real fast 3 times.
Yeah. And so anyways, that's been popular with High School Musical and the TV show Glee.
Yeah.
But prior to that, show choirs have been around in high school for some time.
So they're singing. So is it a live music, or is it a soundtrack, or is it without music?
No, it's soundtrack. It's with music. Usually it was with soundtracks.
Okay.
And so in the 80s, one of the premier show choirs in North Carolina were the kids from Cary.
That don't sound right. Premier in North Carolina?
Yeah. It was a big deal. And it was actually, I think, had its heyday even a little earlier than the 80s, maybe back in the 70s.
So this was kind of, did y'all compete?
They didn't compete when I was in it, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. I don't remember going. We may have gone to one competition, 1 or 2. I don't really remember.
Well,
but you seem very interested in this topic.
Well, I do. So I had Cecil dig out his high school yearbook, and I really wanted to know. So the listeners can't see this, but I wanted to get this yearbook out. I wanted some proof that you were in fact in a show choir, and I think it's helpful for the listeners to understand how the show choir describes themselves.
Oh, is the description
in the
yearbook?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me read this to you. Okay. Every day during 6th period, every Tuesday night, melodic sounds echoed throughout the halls of A building. The members of Kids from Cary exhibited their pride and outstanding spirit in all of their performances. In addition to Christmas and spring concerts, the minstrels performed at the Capitol rest homes and also at rest areas. Area malls. Sorry about that. Okay.
We were all the rave in the rest areas.
You were at the I-40 truck stop there. No, area malls. That was not being disrespectful. Yeah, so
I forgot we did perform at the Capitol.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really? What did you sing? And
that was for Christmas.
Did you sing and dance at Christmas? Because that's a strong showing.
No, we had for Christmas we had our formal. We had like tuxedos.
Okay.
And dressy dresses that the girls wore.
Okay, so a cappella, you usually stand in a semicircle, and all the music is coming from the voices. So show choirs, you're coming in dance formations, your arms are swinging, legs are kicking.
Jazz hands.
Okay.
Whole nine.
All right. This is you.
Yeah.
So
so this obviously doesn't jive with your thoughts of who I am. I guess
Cecil Davis in a show choir. That don't sound right.
So here's the story of how I ended up there. Because I cannot sing. If you know me well, I don't think anybody would describe me as necessarily having a good singing voice.
I haven't been around you when you're singing, but you do have a low voice, so I can see you
I don't.
Cranking out the bass notes.
So, and I also cannot dance. I have no. My rhythm is not very good.
Okay, I'm not. No, this is a judgment-free zone here. Okay, this is a judgment-free zone. But again, your personality
Right.
doesn't lend itself, in my mind, to a happy, singing, delightful, energetic show choir.
Show choir. So the director of show choir my junior year was Miss Mosher, who was everybody loved her. Everybody in the school loved her, and she was just great. And so they needed male voices in show choir. So my junior year, going into my senior year, Miss Mosher convinced me to come and try out for her, and I did, and I made it. I made it into Kids from Cary because it was audition. You had to audition to be in Kids from Cary.
Yeah. I'd like to really. Can you kind of recount that conversation? So this is Cecil, and I guess this is 1985. 85.
Some 84, 85 school year going into the 85, 86 school year.
Right. Okay. And so yeah, can we have that conversation?
Yeah. So I don't remember how. I guess I had helped out with some of the plays. I wasn't in drama club.
Like a stagehand or a roadie or something like that?
Just stagehand. So I had helped out with some of the plays, and we had been in one of the extravaganzas in the spring where me and some guys sang The Gambler.
Okay, well, let's I'm going to do some rewind here. New bits of information. I don't see this in the yearbook.
No. So we sang The Gambler. There was 4 of us that sang The Gambler. And I don't even know why we came up with doing that, but we did.
So is this, you're singing with music playing in the background?
No, we did a cappella.
Oh,
it just sounds more unright.
Keep going.
That doesn't sound right.
Keep going.
Yeah, so I don't remember what started the conversation between me and Miss Mosher. Now, Miss Mosher when she would direct a play, this really wouldn't fly now. She would have an assistant who was a student who would light her cigarettes for her.
Oh, nice. Is this with a match or with a lighter?
With a lighter.
Okay.
Because she would smoke in the auditorium while we were doing play practice. She was fantastic. So, anyways, I can't remember the conversation, but anyway, she convinced me to try out for Kids for Cary. I try out. She's the one that decides whether you're going to be on the choir or not, and so I make it through auditions into Kids from Cary.
What's the audition about?
You had to pick a piece of music and sing it for her.
And you only had to sing it.
And you just had to sing.
You didn't have to put any choreography to it?
You didn't have to dance.
All right, what was your song?
I can't remember. I could not tell you to say my
You got to make something up then.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You got to make something up for our listeners.
What
do you think it would have been?
It's probably something she had. It's probably a show tune of some sort.
She had music playing a soundtrack and you were singing along.
Or I think she actually did it on the piano and just sang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's strong.
Yeah.
That's a strong showing right there. You played along with a piano.
Yes. So I sing, I make it through my audition. I am now a Kid from Cary. Now, in the intervening summer between the 84-85 school year and the 85-86 school year, my senior year, she retires.
Ka-chow.
So she is now...
She's gone?
She's gone.
Did you know she was retiring?
I did not.
Did she know?
She did not either.
Did she know she was retiring?
No, she fell in love and she got married and they had a kid and she decided not to come back to school.
Well, that sounds
it was a delightful story. We were all super happy for her.
Right.
But now I'm on Kids from Cary, and I don't have her on there, who was the person who had kind of
she vouched for
nurtured me along and knew the limits of my skills.
She vouched for you.
Right. So I had followed her onto there, and now I'm on Kids from Cary, and I don't have her with me.
Okay, so now
who
steps in? Who steps in?
It was a new director came in that year. I think his first name was Charles.
So he didn't know you from anybody.
He didn't know me. I didn't know him, and he was probably super confused the first time he heard me sing as to why I had made it through auditions.
I'm sure there weren't detailed files that she left behind that said, "Use Cecil in this role."
Right. So my whole senior year I was Kids from Cary. This might be a good place to try out our new commercial, Peter. Do you want to take a commercial break?
Let's take a commercial break.
All right.
Are you tired of buying the same old boring gifts for Valentine's Day? Well, spice things up with our podcast merchandise. Show your love with a shirt, a hat, a pint glass, or a coffee mug featuring That Don't Sound Right. It's the perfect gift for the podcast addict in your life. And if they don't like it, just blame it on the love-induced delirium and move on to the next one. Order now and make your Valentine's Day a little more nerdy and a lot more awesome.
That's right. Go to the links in the show notes, and you can make it to our merchandise shop.
You can also go to the podcast website, thatdon'tsoundright.com. There's a button where you can click on merchandise. It'll take you right there.
That's right. Valentine's Day is coming up. So for kids from Cary, what we would do for Valentine's Day is they would have singing telegrams that you could buy to support Kids from Cary.
Okay.
And
it's kind of a fundraiser type deal.
Right. So you would buy a singing telegram, and then 2 or 3 of us would go around during fourth period and
clearly you didn't get to pick who sang the telegram.
No, you did not get to pick who sang the telegram. And so we would go around in groups of 3 or 4 to the different homerooms, and we would sing to your sweetheart a singing telegram.
Now,
and so there was like 4 songs you could choose from.
Now, I'm assuming a guy buying a singing telegram for his girl.
Right.
That would mean the guys
would go. Right.
Kids from Cary would go sing to the girl. Okay.
And then vice versa. If it was the girls would go sing to the guys.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. How many of those did you sing?
I can't remember. A bunch of them. And then
what were the songs?
I don't remember the songs. There was like 3 or 4 you could choose from, because we only we couldn't like pull anything out that we could sing. But there was like 3 or 4 you could choose from. They were pretty short. But then we created a song based on Calendar Girl for Dorothy Baker, who was our English teacher. She was an English teacher extraordinaire.
Wait, and you called her by her first name, Dorothy?
We called her Dot. She didn't know that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
It's Miss Baker. But
Miss Baker to you.
Miss Baker to you. But Dot Baker, we created her own song, and me and a couple of the guys that were in Kids from Cary, that were in her honors English class, went and sang that song to her. And that was like one of the few times I remember her like breaking out of character of the tough teacher, and like
is that right?
Oh yeah.
You melted her heart.
Yeah, we melted her with that.
So as the senior year progressed, this new music director, how did he handle your talent?
He didn't kick me off the show choir. I was on there the whole year, so we sang Billy. I remember one of our show choir tunes was Billy, Don't Lose My Number by Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And so we had dance moves to that.
What costumes did you wear to Billy?
Well, so for the show choir portion, we had white pants, white suspenders, and green and white checkered shirts.
This is edging into Partridge Family work, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, see, Cary High colors were green and white.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and so it was checkered shirts, not overalls. What am I saying?
Suspenders.
So braces,
Braces.
white pants.
They were
white
braces.
Yeah, and then the girls wore a dress.
Okay. Green
with
and white.
with the same top.
With the same checkered pattern
Yes.
as the guys. Okay.
Yeah, the dress didn't have a checker pattern. It was just white. But then they had the same top as we had. And so we also sang, I want to say we sang Pink Cadillac also. That was like popular that year.
Yeah, that was.
There was something in there that had to be changed. There was like a word that had to be changed. Now I'm sure like in modern days they wouldn't change it.
Right.
Back in the 80s, there was some innuendo in there that had to be
Which
changed.
Which is funny. They had to change that, but they let the assistant to the choir director light the cigarettes.
Right. You could smoke all you want, but you just couldn't sing about anything.
Right.
Anything that sounded.
Right. And perusing through your yearbook here.
Yes.
Another thing they allowed that they made you cut a word out of Pink Cadillac, but they had a gun and knife shop advertised in your yearbook.
The Trader's Den in Cary. Trader's Den was in downtown Cary, and it had.
It's so funny to me what bothered people then and didn't bother then, and then right now, right now is totally different. What bothers people now didn't
Those are the two songs I remember. Was the Billy Don't Lose My Number and Pink. It was either Pink Cadillac or another song that was very similar to that. That came out about the same time. I'll have to go back and dig into and see. And so I've wondered all these years if anybody had like any old VHS video.
Oh man!
And I saw on one of the Cary High boards one time that there is some video, at least of the 84, 85 Kids from Cary.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any.
So that's before your time.
That was before my time. A friend of mine was in Kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it might be out there.
It might be out there.
Have you not put a request for
on the message boards?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think we need to do this.
Yeah.
We need to do this.
I met somebody whose sister was in Kids, and she had some video, but it was of the year before. It wasn't of my year. But you have to remember back then, not everybody had video cameras.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I mean, for us to have videotape of that would be
it's very rare,
quite special.
That's right. That's very rare. But still, it was the Kids from Cary.
The Kids from Cary.
I mean,
premier show choir.
I bet you they had something when you were at the Capitol. That was a special thing. Or
that was a big deal. Yeah, we sang at Cary Mall.
Yeah.
So Cary Mall was a big deal
sure
back in the day.
Someone's videotaping at least at the Capitol because they're very proud of you to be at the Capitol.
Yeah. So there may have been somebody at the Capitol. But now we weren't dancing at the Capitol.
No, well.
And of course we sang for graduation.
Okay.
Baccalaureate. Well, we sang for baccalaureate.
All right.
Yep. So I was.
Did y'all sing any of the national anthems prior to any ball games?
I don't remember doing that.
You think?
I mean, we could. We may have. I just don't remember it. So.
How about performing at halftime with the band?
We did not perform with the band.
Okay. All right.
No, the Cary band was a big deal.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, they had their own thing.
Yeah, they
didn't need you. They needed a show choir.
They didn't need any show choir out there. So,
I got you.
Yeah. So that is my history with the show choir. And so,
well, I hope our listeners had an equal reaction that I did when I first heard it. I thought this was definitely something worthy of this podcast because you singing and dance. So singing and dancing.
Yes,
and
there was dance
choir,
moves
that don't sound right.
Yep. So words of wisdom for tonight are never trust a drama teacher.
Well, at first, I thought she was playing a cruel joke on either you or the show choir.
Well, okay,
or both.
You actually bring up an interesting point.
But I don't think that's possible. She didn't know she was retiring.
I think she may. Well, I wonder if because she was already dating this guy.
Yeah.
But I do, in the back of my mind, wonder if this was like her final practical joke on Cary High was to get me and Kids from Cary. I do wonder because she was kind of a free spirit, and so this might have been her like, you know what, I'm gonna stick Davis on the show choir.
It's not going to be my problem, and it'll probably be fine. She thought
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. So, yeah, one person said that I danced like Frankenstein.
That because you didn't shake your head.
Evidently I danced in very stiff.
Yeah, someone did a study on dancing and what makes someone look like a better dancer than the other.
What's
and
that?
You know what it is?
What?
It's movement of the head.
Really?
It's movement of the head. Whether the head's moving, it's turning, or even the neck's nodding, or you're swaying back and forth. It's the movement of the head that seems to cue people on to whether someone's a good dancer or not.
Mine did not cue anybody on.
Well, you didn't move your head. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, probably did. Well, the good news is that the running joke on That Don't Sound Right is nobody from my past listens to the podcast anyway. So
right. But maybe this is going to dig up something.
Yeah. So occasionally I will talk to somebody from Kids. That there was we had a guy that played football that was on Kids that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did he dance?
He was a good dancer.
He's a good dancer.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he had a great voice and good dance. He was a total package kind of guy. Played football, sang, danced. Everybody loved him. Gets his humor. Yeah.
That's right. What's his name? I'll look him up in the picture.
So I ran into him years later. He was a good guy.
All right. Well, maybe you need to send this episode to him.
Yeah. See if I can track him down. So, we did have one guy in Kids who I think went on to sing opera.
Okay.
He had a great voice. Everybody loved to hear him sing.
Oh my gracious!
Yeah, I didn't. I kind of lost track of him, but I heard that at one point he was singing, at least semi-professionally, opera.
There we go.
Yeah, all right there.
You were amongst giants, man.
Yeah, man, singing right. I would try to keep up with him when we would sing sometimes,
Yeah.
and it was impossible. It was,
Like, how would you keep up? Trying to volume?
Well, no, just like if it was a complicated piece of music, I would really try to hang just with him, just kind of listening to what he was doing and try to do the same things. But it was very hard. He could sing like different parts, and he kind of knew. He had rhythm. He knew where to come in and stop. All that kind of musical things you needed to know.
Right.
Yeah, he knew all those things.
I gotcha. Did you have to read music in this thing?
Well, I can read music.
Okay, you can read music.
I played trumpet and French horn and double horn.
You played the French horn?
I did.
That that is the hardest instrument to play.
Is the hardest instrument?
It's the hardest instrument to
really?
play. Yeah.
I would have thought like oboe.
That's also one of the hardest, but
really?
French horn, yeah.
Why is French horn the hardest, I wonder?
Because there is...
The amount of air?
No, it's the amount of precision you have to have in the mouthpiece to hit your note.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, just from experience, other instruments like lower key instruments,
right.
It's easier to hit the notes because the vibration of your lips in the mouthpiece, it's easier to hit those frequencies. But in the French horn, the difference between the notes and your lips buzzing is so small.
Huh.
It's so small. And you have to control the pitch with your hand in the bell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
right? You remember you have to do that. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
You have to, so I mean, that makes it, that levels up right there, Cecil.
Yeah.
So
French horn and double horn.
did you really? That's impressive, Cecil.
Yeah.
I mean, that is impressive.
See, all this stuff you didn't know.
Wow. We might have to have another episode about French horn playing.
About French horn and double horn. Yeah, I got involved in band in 7th grade. Yeah. So, there you go. I know it doesn't sound right. None of this tonight has sounded right at all. But you have reached the end of another That Don't Sound Right.
Yeah, before we close, we want to thank everyone again for listening. And again, if this is your first time and enjoyed the conversation, would you consider hitting the subscribe button or the little check mark on Apple Podcasts? That'll get you into your feed. And think about giving us a rating or leaving us a review.
That Don't Sound Right is a production of TDSR Podcast in conjunction with Camel City Studios. I am your co-host, Cecil Davis, and also your sound engineer. Your web designer and other co-host is Peter Billman. Our graphic design is by Emily Billman, and our product design, those who test our product tester is Giorgio. Our brand ambassador is Brent. And as always, listener number 1 is
Scott.
So until next Saturday night, keep talking.
And stay curious.